diner somewhere west of Abilene, on a napkin stained with coffee and a fingerprint of dreams. You were gone 5 years by then, but your ghost still hitched a ride in every jukebox song and silence that I kept locked up inside. I never meant to leave that way, didn't think you'd close the door. I was young and full of thunder, now I'm old and keeping score. And every time I tried to mail it, something held me back again. Like maybe pain's more honest when it's only held in pen. This is the letter I never sent, folded tight in consequence, full of words I couldn't say. On the night I walked away, you deserved a better man than the ghost I always met. So I wrote you down in silence in the letter I never sent. I watched your daughter dancing in a video online. She's got your laugh, your way with light, and not a trace of mine. I guess you built a better world than I ever thought you could, and I don't blame you for forgetting, I just hoped you never would. And I keep that napkin folded like a relic from the war, between the man I should have been and the one who asked for more. This is the letter I never sent, just ink and cheap lament, but every line still burns like truth, every stain's a piece of youth. If you ever find it drifting like a prayer on accident, just know I loved you quiet in the letter I never sent. And maybe love is realer when it's written, not delivered. So here's to all the might have beens, to mercy, time, and rent, and to you, my never lover, from the letter I never sent.
Porch light never flickered, even when I disappeared. She'd leave the door unlocked at night, like faith lived without fear.
I missed 100 birthdays, showed up soaked in cheap excuse. Still she held my hand like treasure, like her love was bulletproof.
I told her not to count on me, that I just let her down.
She smiled like she'd heard that line in every song in town. And I don't know what kept her when the storms were loud and long, but somehow she stood steady like a lighthouse hums a song. She waited through the weather when I was raining rust through all my torn up pages. She never lost her trust. She could have walked to brighter skies, but stayed through every tether. I never asked for that kind of love, but she waited through the weather.
I came home with nothing left but
regret and worn out boots. She said love don't count the miles, it only measures roots.
She cooked my favorite supper like no years had passed at all. And when I cried into my coffee, she just smiled and let it fall.
She said you don't need redemption, just someone who believes. I never needed perfect, just a place for you to breathe.
She waited through the weather while I chased a dying flame. And when the winds would scatter me, she never changed her name. I gave her every reason to leave the past untethered, but she rode home in every storm. She waited through the weather.
I asked her once why she stayed. She said, because you're mine.
She waited through the weather, not for who I said I'd be, but for the man she always saw inside the wreck of me. Now I fold her kindness nightly,
Like a prayer wrapped in a feather, and thank the sky I wasn't lost.
she waited through the weather.
He sat alone at Jackson's bar, midnight sharp, same corner booth. Nursing one shot like a sermon, whispered low in honest truth. The barkeep said he don't say much, but he's seen the world go gray. Used to ride with fire in his hands till the fire walked away. He wore a coat too big for summer and boots too soft for war. Carried silence like a weapon, but never walked out that door. Some say he lost a brother, some say he took a life, but no one dared to ask him why his hand still shook at night.
He's the man who sat at midnight where the jukebox wouldn't play, in the town that knew too little and looked the other way. He lit a match for every secret and let the silence burn it right. But he never told his story, the man who sat at midnight.
One night a stranger walked in slow, with eyes like a debt unpaid. He said, "You took what mattered most, now it's time your dues get laid." The bar fell into silence like a church with bated breath, and that old man just sipped his whiskey like he'd been waiting death. He said, "Son, I don't deny it, but you don't know all I did, and vengeance won't restore her if you can't forgive the kid." He's the man who sat at midnight with 1,000 ghosts in line, carved his sins in broken windows, left his soul beneath the pine. And he stared down every sorrow like a judge with no respite.
but he never told his story. The man who sat at midnight. Some truths are built like coffins. Some are born to stay inside. Now the booth stays dark and empty, but the seat is still worn thin. Folks say when it hits midnight, you can almost see him grin. He paid the cost in silence with his back turned to the light, and he took it all with him, the man who sat at midnight.
The jukebox never played again. After he was gone.
The kettle still whistles at 7, like it did when you were here. I memorized its sadness and the way it hides a tear. The curtains still dance in the morning, though no one pulls them wide. Your robe still hangs behind the door, like it's waiting on your stride. The mailbox holds no letters, but I check it just the same. And I keep our song on vinyl, so I don't forget my name. The clock don't tick the way it used to since you stopped turning keys, but I still light the porch lamp so your ghost knows where I'll be. I still set the table for two, still pour your favorite tea, still hum the lines you used to miss in that movie's final scene. They say move on and find someone, but they never met you. So I live like you're still coming home. I still set the table for two. Sweaters in the closet I folded every week, like prayers I keep repeating to a God who doesn't speak. I wear your ring around my neck so it's always close to heart, and I talk to your reflection in the mirror after dark. I've learned the art of waiting, like a lighthouse learns the shore, shining light that no one answers, still hoping nevermore. I still set the table for two, still leave the porch swing free, still laugh at jokes you used to tell, though now it's only me. They say love dies with distance, but you live in all I do. Every meal, each morning prayer, I still set the table for two. So if heaven has a window and you're looking down the view, I hope you see the candlelight where I still set the table two.
house was never noisy, but it never felt like peace. Just the hum of empty moments and the weight that doesn't cease. I didn't know I'd build a cage out of calendars and clocks, till you walked in with your sunrise and undid every lock. You never fixed me loud, you just sat there with your tea, and somehow all that silence stopped screaming back at me. You didn't bring the lightning, you just opened up the blinds, and I saw the world was turning even when I stayed behind. You got me through the quiet when the world forgot my name, held my hand like I was something more than just my quiet shame. You never tried to rescue, you just stayed and stayed and stayed. And love like that don't shout, it whispers loud enough to say. I still leave the porch light burning, even though you're far from here. Not because I think you're coming, just to thank you for those years. Sometimes love ain't till forever, but it lasts through every fall. And the way you helped me breathe again was the truest gift of all. You didn't promise always, you just promised not to run, and that was more than I had ever heard from anyone. You got me through the quiet, through the long and broken days, pulled me out of my own shadow with a laugh that lit my way. You never tried to save me, you just stood and let me grow. And I still sing your kindness everywhere I go. And I hope someone makes you feel the way you made me. You got me through the quiet, now I walk a louder road, but I carry all your stillness everywhere I go.
You never said goodbye, not really. Just a note with half a name and a postcard from Sedona, with no return, no blame. She left her keys on the table next to mine and a broken watch. Said time don't wait on cowards, and I was late by just that much. I found a matchbook from Nevada, folded neatly in my coat, and a lipstick trace on paper that said don't call, just let me float. She was always 10 steps ahead, in boots I never chased, and I wore my silence proudly, like a love I couldn't face. She only wrote me Arizona never said the word goodbye. Just a fading desert skyline and her name beneath the sky. I tried to read between the cactus and the words she left behind, but the only thing she told me was she was done being mine. I still keep that postcard folded in the pocket of my pride. Every woman since has asked me why I leave love outside. I say it's 'cause I met a thunder that looked like common grace. She burned like dusk in silence and vanished without a trace. I could have followed west that night, but I stayed and cursed the floor. And now I sip on her goodbye like a man who wanted more. She only wrote me Arizona, no return, no sweet explain, just a sky in rust and crimson, and her tears in desert rain. I tried to frame it like a story, but the plot just slipped through time, and the only thing she told me was she was done being mine. She never liked goodbyes, so she never gave me one. Now I drive through town she'd love, with her postcard in my coat, still wondering if Arizona was the last thing that she wrote.
I saw her in a photograph taped behind a diner seat, smiling like she owned the world and never knew defeat. She used to work the corner booth, pouring coffee, dreams, and cream. I was young and chasing thunder, too proud to ever dream. She'd sing along to Springsteen with a voice too soft to stay, and I'd pretend I didn't notice while my chance slipped away. She called me cowboy once or twice, though I never had the boots, just a heart afraid of quiet and a suitcase full of truth. Back then I didn't know her name, just her laugh and how she moved. I thought love was for the settled, not for boys who still had grooves. Now the jukebox plays reminders of the time I can't reclaim. She gave me light in passing, but I never knew her name. She left that job in '83, said the town was far too still. I heard she made it out to Denver, married some man on a hill. I stayed behind with habits like the chair she always used, and wondered if she ever thought of the boy who never moved. I tried to write a letter, but I never had her last, so I fold it in a whisper and sing it to the past. Back then I didn't know her name, just the hum of her goodbye. I was too in love with leaving to let her even try. Now my hands are full of nothing but this old cafe in flame. She walked through like an angel, and I never knew her name. Now the corner booth feels colder, though the sun still hits the same. I still sip the cup she poured me back when I didn't know her name.
I found his coat behind the closet, smelled like wind and kerosene, a little torn around the collar like the stories in between. He wore it to my baseball games and to Mama's second wedding. He never said too many words, but his silence did the telling. We never saw eye to eye, more like mirror to regret, but I still wore that coat one night just to see what he felt. He was thunder in the hallway, he was whiskey on the chair. He was gone before I noticed he was ever really there. My father's coat still fits me wrong, but I wear it when I need him strong. Through every storm I walk alone, it wraps me in what I've outgrown. We never said the words we meant, we spoke through fences, not through vents. But in this fabric old and broke, I still remember my father's coat. He left before the cancer came, but I read his Bible notes. He marked a page on prodigal and folded prayers and quotes. I found a picture in the pocket of me at age 13, grinning like I knew the world and didn't fear a thing. And we were men made out of silence, built from lessons never said. But that coat was like a letter I forgot I hadn't read. My father's coat still fits me wrong, but I wear it when I need him strong. Through every storm I walk alone, it wraps me in what I've outgrown. We never said the words we meant, we spoke through fences, not through vents. But in this fabric old and broke, I still remember my father's coat. He never said goodbye, but he left me this to try. So I hang it by the doorway, let it catch the morning smoke. And when I miss the man I knew, I wear my father's coat.
silence always speaks. Dust covered up the welcome sign, like a year's between the weeks. The saloon's got one light still burning, no faces that I know, just a barkeep with a Bible and a shotgun down below. He said, "You've got the look of sorrow." I said, "That's just my resting face." But we both knew I was lying, like this town forgot my name. I came to find forgiveness, but I parked beside regret. No graves with flowers waiting, just the debts I still don't get. No one waits in Canyon Hill, no porch light left for me. The house is gone, the fields are dry, and even ghost won't speak. I thought the past could hear me through the wind against the sill, but even echoes know no one waits in Canyon Hill. Name still haunts the chapel door, carved like it once bled. And I swear I heard her footsteps, though I know she's years dead. I left a note at the altar, just in case she walks back through. But deep down I'm just pretending, like a man without a clue. I lit a match to midnight, hoping fate might show the way. But the only light in Canyon Hill is the fire I threw away. In Canyon Hill, no porch light left for me. The house is gone, the fields are dry, and even ghosts won't speak. I thought the past could hear me through the wind against the sill, but even echoes know no one waits in Canyon Hill. I took the long road home tonight, through towns that time forgot, where every sign still whispered all the chances that I lost. I passed the church we used to sit in, the one with the crooked bell, and the diner where I told you I had nothing left to tell. I was younger, loud and broken, thought the road could wash me clean, but all it did was echo what you already seen. But I heard through a friend of yours, you still leave the porch light on, like you're waiting for a storm to pass or a fool too proud to call. And the porch light's still on after all these years and miles. You still keep a chair wide open, like forgiveness wears your smile. I've been gone too long, done too much, but I swear I've changed. I'm not who I was, that light's for me. I won't be gone, 'cause the porch light's still on. I kept your letters in my glove box, folded like a prayer. I'd read them when the nights got loud, just to feel you still were there. The photos faded, but your words stayed bright like Sunday rain. You said when you're ready, come on home. I'll leave the porch light just the same. And I never thought I'd see this town without shame behind my eyes. But somehow all the wrong I've done feels small beneath your skies. And the porch light's still on through the wind and every trial. You still keep a chair wide open, like Grace been waiting all the while. I ain't perfect, I ain't fixed, but I'm standing here with all I've missed. If love's a place where I belong, then thank God the porch light's still on.
Sometimes home ain't just a house. It's someone who forgives you first.
So I'm walking up the front steps with the sunrise breaking strong, and I'm coming home for real this time. Thank God the porch light's still on.